Now then everybody, thank you again for joining Foot Talkers. It's been a fantastic first week running into the second week and the numbers are getting bigger and better, which is fantastic. We are creeping towards the 200 subscribers, which is amazing. So if you are new to the channel, please click that subscribe button, click the bell, like it, leave me a comment. I'm here to help out as much as I can. And for everybody that's already subscribed, enormous thank you for staying around, looking and liking videos. It means a lot. So in today's video, I have been asked a couple of times to create different types of teams with budgets in mind and doing hybrid teams, mixing the leagues up together but keeping top chemistry. And what I've managed to do, I've got a specific video for one of the comments you'll see in a previous video asking me to do a 30k team with Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David up front. I've managed to do that, so that'll be in once I've shown you the team that I'm going to be doing right now, which is a 250,000 bracket, and I think it's pretty decent what you can get from it. And the idea is what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on to FootBin, I'm going to show you a variety of players from different leagues which you could potentially put into your team if you're looking at doing something similar. Take what you want from that team or those players that I put in, hopefully they work for you. What I would say is I'd say that 90% of the players that I've said I've used. The other ones, it's ones that I've either played against and I just think, what a joke, how can these guys that are still gold card be this good? But they just simply are, they're just overpowered players, and we all know about overpowered players in every FIFA, and this is no different. But first of all, I just wanted to open up a few more of the 8-1 plus player picks. We saw the video hopefully yesterday or the other day, and I got Bernardo Silva, I got Bruno Fernandes, a couple other ones, team that I think I got that, him, whoever he is. So I just wanted to see what we can get out of these ones. Absolutely not there, but we'll go for the rating. First one. Second one. See, what I wanted to do, guys, I wanted to do the 85 plus player, the 85 plus 5 players. I've seen a few good ones come out, I've seen some dud ones come out, so if they look like this, they'll probably be dud. But we're hoping that we can get some good. Oh, that'll do, Hendo can go in. That's the 86 bracket. I think I'll be able to do it now. I'm missing one player. Number 82. And last but not least, oh, Muller, that's not bad. We'll 100% take that. That will allow me to be able to do the 85 plus 5 players. So I'll do that in tomorrow's video, because what I'm going to do, I will be doing pack openings from Weekend League and the red player pick. I'm going to try and get a few more packs together from maybe doing drafts tomorrow night or something, and then hopefully we've got a few more pack opening for you guys that come along and watch it. So let's dive into the team that I'm going to go for, 250,000. I'll crossing over to FootBin now. Right then, so over to FootBin. This is where I will be showing you the keeper, defence, midfield, strikers. And I'll show you the team I've gone for, and then finally I will be doing the 30k team for Dom from the review questions. Hopefully that's appreciated and you like it and it helps you out. So to start with, from left, it's Pope, Premier League. Everybody knows what he's like. He's one of the most overpowered goalkeepers in the league. Into the Spanish league, I could have gone for people like, I don't know, Ter Stegen or Courtois. But when you've got a budget of 250,000, I am not wasting much coins on a goalkeeper. Buffon, just love him. He is another goalkeeper. They're either horrendously bad because they're a bronze card, or they're just what they are because they're a gold card. But Buffon, just gotta love the guy. I never know how to pronounce this guy's name, so I'm not gonna do. But again, I've seen quite a lot of people use him on the weekend league if they've gone for the kind of like a Bundesliga back with that Boateng back there and maybe some other ones like that. Always seems to do pretty decent against me. And then finally Mandanda, I think he's just another solid goalkeeper from the French league. It's just where I think they're fitting quite nicely together in terms of that French link maybe to other players if you're going for that Varane or Upamecano and things like that. So that's your goalkeeper sorted. Into your left back, again, I've just got one from each league of the top big leagues, 5 there. Tellez, I think, is really solid. He does what he says he's going to do, unless you want to spend a fortune on somebody like Robertson. You know, he's not any better in my opinion. Menda, arguably still one of the best left backs in the game. I must have played about 300 games with this guy, and he was top tier. And again, that's why you see a lot of people still got him in their team. Hernandez, you've got blistering pace there. You know, that's one big thing that you need from your fullback. And again, he's cheap. He doesn't cost you hardly anything at all. So I think in terms of his price, what does he cost now? It's less than 4k, just over 3,500 for Hernandez, which I think is really good. Davies, again, that Bundesliga player, got the sheer pace. He's got everything you want from that left back position. Unless you're fortunate to have his team of the season, he's still a strong player there. And Mavave, you know, again, French league, it's pretty much all around. And what I would say is from that French league, there's not that many decent left backs that you could go for. So they're your left backs. Onto the right back position. Semedo, Navas, Cuadrado, Wolf, and Atal. They'll all offer you something pretty decent for what they do. They're all good at pace, good finishing, good passing, good crossing, everything really, these guys, which is kind of not often what you'd get from a right back as such. You might think like Wan-Bissaka, you're going to get a solid defender but not much else. Whereas I feel with these choices here, they work exceptionally well for that. And then centre backs. Gomez, we all know what Gomez is like. He's still in I think he's still in my team, and he's still in a hell of a lot of weekend league teams. And then Varane, again, probably still one of the best players. If you've got the coins to go above this 250,000, I'm telling you would get better. You'd go for the inform cards and stuff like that, but you've just got to still be balanced, in my opinion. You don't want to be spending 200k on your striker and then dividing the rest of your 10 players between that 50k. It's just not going to work. Manolas, solid defender. You know, again, you could have gone for him. You could have maybe gone for somebody like Chiellini, but for me, the pace is a big factor with Manolas. I think it works exceptionally well back there. Conte, again, another really good defender. There aren't too many in the German league, I'd say, again, for centre backs. There's not a massive amount to look at unless you are going to go above 100k, and I don't think it's worth it. And then Denier again for the French league, solid player back there, got the pace and things like that, which is handy. And then what I've done for midfield, because I've actually gone for my final team, it's a 4-2-3-1. So I've got quite a few like central midfielders. So I've gone for 4 midfielders from them leagues, and then again I'll narrow it down to the players that I'm going to use in the hybrid team. So Gini Wijnaldum is always been good in this FIFA, in my opinion. I think he's really decent price. I think if I remember right, it's around about 25k, 21,000, so even better. Pogba, he's good. He's still got them gangly telescopic legs that seem to break everything up. Fernandes, he's class. I enjoy playing with him. I was fortunate to have his, I think it was team, not team of the year. We're in an inform one, which were like an 89 rated or something, and it were really good. And then Havertz, just another solid player. But of the 4, I'd probably say Havertz was my last choice. It might just work if you were looking to have that link into the Bundesliga or something like that. And same Fernandes, you know, if you've got the links there, he's a solid player. Even if you wanted to get somebody like him, Bernardo Silva and Ronaldo, just it would work. It really would. So there you centre mids through the Premier League, and then into La Liga. You've got solid players here. I've put Coutinho in just simply because he's a bit more creative, and if you was going to go for a mix, more of a mix of La Liga players, I think to have De Jong and somebody like Valverde, it might just be a little bit too defensive. So to have De Jong, Llorente, Coutinho and Valverde, I think there's not much between any of them. There really isn't. It's just them linked between players from different leagues. If you want a Brazilian, Spanish, Dutch, you know, you've got that options. And again, if you've got somebody like Valverde, that Uruguayan, it's difficult to get him with other players. I found so anyway. On to the next league. So Italian league. I really don't think too much of the Italian league for like central midfielders. So Nainggolan isn't as good as De Jong. Gomez, he's better than Coutinho, but he's a lot more expensive than Coutinho. Vidal and Nainggolan, you'd probably say are very similar players. Erickson, I enjoy playing with him. He's a bit sort of like Marmite for a lot of people. I think you either love him or you hate him, and I had quite a lot of fun playing with that card. But you don't often see him in weekend league or anything like that. But in terms of Serie A, that's quite a solid foundation if you was looking at one or two of those for your team. Into the German league, Joshua Kimmich. What I'd say about Kimmich and that Zakaria, they're both good players if you want to change your formation and go into maybe a 5 at the back, and they can drop in and you can really kind of, you've not got a weak link in there. Because what I would say is Kimmich is a definite all-round player. That Zakaria, I prefer to play him at centre back. I think he's very similar to my Essien in my team. I think he's better as a defender. And then Marco Reus and Goretzka. Goretzka's an all-rounder. I think he's probably the best all-round midfielder in the German league for around about that price. And then Reus, it's just that sentimental thing with me. I enjoy playing with him. Like I was saying the other day about Kroos and Muller and stuff. Just got that kind of link to him, which I enjoy playing with him. And then, again, similar to the Italian league, I'd struggle to get a decent central pairing in the French league. I think that Andre and I don't even know how to pronounce his name either. They're good players, but would they get into your team? Would you want them in your team? Probably not. I've had Rafinha in my team. I thought he was quite good, but again, his pace for a centre midfielder is probably not top tier. Sanchez, if you've got the coins, you'd go for the more expensive one because he is absolutely class. He really is. If you were fortunate enough to do that, I think it was the Freeze Aurier card, he's exceptional, but I didn't do him, and I just thought I won't put him in this because I know that we're quite a lot of money to do, and it would not work in the 250k bracket. And then into the Italian league, I've gone for for the forwards in all of the leagues. I've kind of just gone for one of each here because with a 4-2-3-1, obviously I can mix them up. Who's going to go where? But Gabriel Jesus, he's class. He still scores a lot of goals past me. I've enjoyed playing with him as well, but he's just a cheap, reliable option if you want to put your cash elsewhere into the team. Felix, we've all played against him. We all know his class. We all know his skills and his tiki-taka, elastico moves. He's a nightmare to play against. He's probably the most expensive individual player I've got on this. I'm sure he's about 80 odd K, 90k he is. So if you were going to do it, you'd have to budget the rest of your team really if that were your bracket. Dybala, I love the guy in FIFA. I've got his what I think it was his flashback card or something like that. Absolutely love it. Really good. Depay from the French league. Again, he's got the skills, he's got the weak foot and things like that. It just works for me. I enjoy playing with him. He's got that link to the other Dutch players. Really easy. And then this card is free to do if you're willing to put the time and effort in to do it and grind it. He is absolutely class. I'm not saying his name because I'll get it wrong, no doubt. So, he's Brazilian, so he links in really well with other players. So I'd say that you've got a really good kind of balance there, and that the stats don't actually do it justice for that Brazilian from the German league. So that's the main players from the divisions and leagues that I were looking at. I just wanted to put some honourable mentions in because no doubt people will have their own opinions and stuff. I've missed out wingers, I've missed out this. So from Italian league, Mertens and Lozano, you've got some solid players there. Neither of them are too expensive. Bobby Firmino and Son, they are class. I'm not going to deny it. They should get into pretty much most people's hybrid team for 250k. Dembele, Hazard, again, top tier. I love Hazard. I think I can't believe he's so cheap in game. Haaland and Upamecano, again, this is where you kind of like decide what amount of money you want to put into your team in what positions. I think that Upamecano, how much is he now? He's 93k. So again, if you're more defence minded, you might look at a player like that, pump it into your defence, and just filter the rest of your money out going forward. And then into the French League, Bamba and Ben Yedder, both solid players, both going to do you a job, and they're just kind of players that you could really get into your team quite easily, and they link up quite well with other leagues with that nationality of French. So they're your honourable mentions, and this is my team now. This is what I've gone for, and it's coming at 220k because I would have gone for the informed Semedo, but it had just taken my budget up to 270k. So I've still got a few coins spare there, really. But Mendy and Varane, you'll see them probably till the end of this FIFA if you know they're that good. Again, Pope, one of the most overrated goalkeepers. Gomez and Cancelo. I didn't used to have Cancelo. I used to have Semedo, and I played a few games with Cancelo, and I really enjoy him. I think he's an extremely sound player, solid, works really well. But if I was going for English on that side, maybe Tavernier, especially if he gets his upgrade after the next win. I think they've got the game on Saturday. Might be Motherwell or something, so hopefully they'll win that. And then into my midfield, I've gone for Wijnaldum and De Jong as my kind of defensive midfielders. I think they'd link up really well. I think that'd be the kind of players that would go forward and back and do a solid job in either position. And then this is where I could mix it around a little bit for my attacking play. Bobby Firmino is, I think he's class on the game, I really do. He's not so good in real life at the moment. Jesus, how I mentioned, Jesus, he does the job. And then the Dortmund striker. If you can do him, again, it's free to do. If you were to say, oh, you've cheated with that, you shouldn't have gone for him or anything like that. What I would say is you could have gone for quite a few of the strikers that I had on the previous one on here. I would have possibly gone for João Felix, and then I would have had to have dropped Firmino and then maybe kind of mix something up there. That's the team that I'd have gone for. It's all around balance. You've got a lot of flair players in there, you've got pace, you've got strong defence. So I think that's a really good team with a 250k budget. So hopefully that's helpful. And last but not least, the comment I got from Dom, this is where what I've done. So I had 30k to play with, and I've done it for 29,600. And I don't think it's a bad team, I really don't. Again, the Fofana, if you wanted to shout at me because he's not an actual kind of player that you can buy, but you can grind it, and you can grind it now because he's still available, so there's no excuse not to get him in your team. But the idea was I needed to get Davis at left back, and I needed to get David up front and still have a solid team with a good chemistry. So I've got 100 chem, and I've got Areola in goal, Davis left back, Hernandez, solid fast players, what you want in your team, that's what I've got. Fofana, I've enjoyed playing with him, so again, if you wanted to play with that card, grind it out and do it. And then this is what I've gone for Semedo. It works budget-wise and things like that. There isn't much between Semedo and Cancelo. It's just at the minute, I've really enjoyed playing with Cancelo. If you'd have asked me to do this a month ago, I would have had Semedo in there, no doubt. Adama is a cheap option, and again, he can play in a variety of positions. He's quite strong all around. And then Thomas Partey and Sanchez, you've got two good central midfielders holding there that are going to do a job. Bamba for pace and the connection link with David up front, I think that works quite well. And then at the other side of that, you've got Lacazette, who again on this FIFA is massively underrated. I think he's really good. You get a hunter on him, and honestly, you've got yourself a really good striker there. And I believe he's only worth £4,500, nearly 5,000. So you can get yourself a top tier striker there for less than 5k. But look, guys, that's it for today's video. I really enjoyed doing stuff like this because it's slightly different. It's quite difficult to get together and make a team that's going to be, you know, like different to a 100k team. And all you really want to do every time you make one of these teams is you'll just improve a specific position usually. And it might be a case of going from a 50k central midfielder to selling that 50k, you've made another 50,000, so you can put a 100k player into that team, and it can work really, really well. But look, guys, that's it for today. I hope it's been useful and kind of interested to see what I'd have gone for. Comment below to let me know what you'd have gone for with a 250k budget, or if there's specific ones that you would have done that were different to the 11 that I had on there. Please let me know. It'd be interesting to see. But look, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell, like button, comment. It really means a lot to me, the support we're getting. Let's see if we can get to 200 subscribers by the end of this week. And again, that'd be enormous. But look, guys, for today, all the very best. Toodaloo.